in high definition, where news comes first. This is WECT News at 6.
Shot fired! Shot fired! Get him on the run! Yeah, shot fired. Give me the channel. Shot fired.
News Since 5 just into our newsroom. Radio traffic released. You just heard officers yelling shots fired during a standoff situation in Wilmington.
According to their conversation, they were looking for a Jermaine Jr. Cordova. That is the man that has been identified involved in a standoff today with police.
Now we are continuing our team coverage tonight of that situation in the city of Wilmington.
Just hours after an armed suspect ran house to hide, neighbors are wondering just how safe their streets are. Right now, WECT's Nadine Mazer is at one house with a bullet hole through the window. Nadine, what's the latest from there?
Well, for Fran, John, like you guys said, we're learning more about the suspect right now. I'm told exclusively from police detectives that he's wanted in connection to the Frog Pond shooting that happened just a few weeks ago. That's off of Coville Avenue, that apartment complex. And yes, that shooting has led to this shooting today when police tried to serve a warrant on him for that attempted murder. You have to take a look at this. A bullet actually went through the window of a home here along Price's Lane. It went through this window that you see here and then actually hit a ceiling fan inside the home and then went through another wall by the kitchen. I'm told it barely missed the people inside this home not too far away. So we're going to pop up some video of what we had here earlier just to kind of set the scene for people to show what our cameras exactly caught. The suspect ran from officers who were serving the warrant, and he reportedly barricaded himself in a shed along Barkley Hill Drive. That's right off of Princess Place. Of course, schools went into lockdown by that time. Negotiators were sent in, as was the SWAT team. They were called in to help with the situation. They finally got him out just a few hours into this whole standoff. And, you know, the situation really rattled neighbors, as you can imagine. The thought of having an armed suspect basically running around a neighborhood with a gun is not something you see every day in Wilmington.
I've never seen this before. I thought Berkeley Hills was really much friendly and quiet, but evidently not. Looks can be very deceiving. And I just pretty much think it's getting out of hand in Wilmington, period.
Of course, locals and residents around here in this neighborhood very concerned for their safety tonight as we head on into the night. Although that suspect is in custody at this point, but a number of parents also concerned. That's because 4 schools went on lockdown today. It was a very nervous scene for a lot of people out there. We're going to head over to WCT's Craig Reck for a look at what he can recap on the school end. Craig?
Well, Nadine, you know the story just like I do. We've been following all day, even parents in that community worried about their children's safety at school. I'm at Mary S. Mosley, one of 4 schools to go on lockdown. You also have Rachel B. Freeman, Snipes Academy, and the Child Development Center. Now, when these schools went under lockdown, it took about 4, maybe a little more than 4 hours until these students could be released. Now, we'll pull up some video from earlier today to give you an idea around 2:30, even all the way up to 3, where these sheriff's deputies are not only in the schools, but also out in the streets directing traffic, making sure anyone that wants to come pick up their kids is out there and they're who they say they are. Because typically under a lockdown situation, not even parents can get in and out of a school situation. Now, to give you an idea with something like this, they had so many officers that they planned to do a tiered release whenever that time came around, releasing the schools first that were close to the action and then moving further south towards Freeman and Snipes. But a spokesperson for the sheriff's office tells me that they had so many resources, they decided to just let everybody go as the parents arrived, get them out quicker, get them out sooner to their parents so everybody could be together. And that spokesperson also tells me that the Child Development Center is technically not a part of the school system, so there is no sheriff's deputy in that school. But once officers realized that the school was there and it was unguarded, it went under lockdown as well, making child safety and student safety a #1 priority.
Child safety is our #1 goal. Our main goal is to make sure that the schools are locked down, the children are safe, and that they stay that way while this is being resolved.
And that issue was resolved a little quicker today with those sheriff's deputies being in even elementary schools now that New Hanover County has them everywhere. Reporting live in New Hanover County, Craig Reck, WECT News.
All right, now we are just getting new information into our newsroom, and we want to break it down for you because it is a little bit confusing. There were actually two people involved in that traffic stop. The person who was driving the vehicle at the time has been identified as Jermaine Jr. Cordova. He is actually the man who was in custody. He was the one who was involved in the standoff with police, but there was another person involved.
When the traffic stop happened, the passenger in the car, a Christopher Deshaun Williams, actually took off. Police are still looking for him tonight. I believe we have his mugshot, picture of him taken earlier this year. This is Christopher Williams. He is wanted in connection with an incident on Frog Pond Place back on January 2nd. This is his mugshot. Once again, he was a passenger in the car driven by Jermaine Jr. Cordova, who was involved in the standoff earlier today.
Now, the man you're looking at, once again, Christopher Deshaun Williams, there's a warrant for conspiracy to commit murder, 2 counts in connection with an incident on Frog Pond Place. That was on January 2nd, as John just mentioned. They are still looking for the gentleman you're looking at now, but once again, Jermaine Jr. Cordova in custody right now. Now, when stories like this happen, you can be the first to know. Download the WECT News app and get updates sent straight to your phone. You can get it for free right now on your iPhone or Android.
And of course, we'll have the very latest, any new details coming up tonight on WECT News at 11 and on WECT.com.